Hi friends, welcome to today's piano tutorial. My name is Josh, and in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to play the song Slow It Down by Benson Boone on the piano. Let's get started. Okay, so this song is going to be in the key of A flat major. So you see we have 4 flats there. It's a little complicated, but there's not too many chords you have to learn, so hopefully that should keep it simple. All right, so we're going to break this down into kind of 3 parts. We're going to start with the first verse, which is a little bit different than the rest of the song. Then we're gonna look at this short pre-chorus and then get into what we use for the rest of the verses and chorus and everything throughout the rest of the song. Okay, so let's get started with that first verse. Okay, we're gonna start here on a D flat chord. So I'm just gonna play octave D flats in the left hand and then play D flat, F, and A flat here in the right hand, okay? That's gonna be our first chord. Now for our second chord, keep it nice and simple. Everything's the same. We're just going to move that top A flat up to a B flat. And that's going to be a B flat minor chord over a D flat, okay? And next up, we're going to go down to an A flat chord. So A flat's in the left hand, C, E flat, and A flat in the right hand, okay? And for our final chord, just take that top note again. We're going to drop it this time down to a G, and that's going to make it an A flat major 7, the G being the major 7th of that chord, okay? So let's review those 4 chords. Start on D flat, then B flat minor over D flat, go to A flat, and then A flat major 7. All right. Rhythm-wise, it's going to be nice and simple here. Let's just count 4 beats on every chord. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we repeat, okay? And so that 4-chord progression that we have at the start is going to be repeated 4 times. And as we're going through it this 4 times, we're gonna have a little bit of a crescendo, meaning we're gonna get a little bit louder each time we go through it. And this crescendo kind of matches the vocal part as he's getting louder and louder with each line, right? And then another thing you can do to kind of build that energy here is in the left hand, instead of just playing here on beat 1 every time, you can start to play on some of the off beats like this. Those off beats meaning in between the beats that we're playing here on our right hand. Just like that. And just kind of play it however it feels natural for you. All right, so that is gonna be just verse 1. Now after that, we're gonna go into this first pre-chorus part, okay? And so this is gonna be a little tricky because we're gonna be moving through these chords pretty quickly. So let's start here with our first chord. We're gonna go to an F minor chord. So F's in the left hand and then play C, F, and A flat in the right hand. Okay. Now we're gonna start walking up here and go to G's in the left hand, E flat, G, and B flat in the right hand. Okay. Again, we're just gonna take another step up here, a half step actually in the left hand to A flat, okay? And then we're gonna go to E flat, A flat, and C in the right hand. So that's gonna be an A flat chord, okay? Then we're gonna drop down to E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat, and G. I'm gonna leave off that top B flat this time. And then drop everything down one more note down to our D flat. So D flat's in the left hand, D flat, and F there. That's a D flat major chord. Okay, a little tricky there, lots of chords that are moving through quickly. So again, review. F minor, E flat over G, A flat, E flat, and D flat, okay? And then we're just gonna repeat that, and it's simple, we're just playing each of those for 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's gonna be the pre-chorus part. Now after this, we're gonna go to this one last part that we're gonna use for all the rest of the chorus and verse parts, And then we're just gonna break that up sometimes with that pre-chorus, but for the most part, it's gonna be nice and simple and repeated. And this part we're gonna learn is basically exactly what we learned for verse 1, but actually simplified a little bit. So here in this part, we're gonna have a bit of a wide hand position. We're gonna keep 2 D flats here in the left hand like before, but we're gonna take that same hand shape, move it up to this D flat, F, and A flat. Very similar to what we did in the first verse, but just moved up a couple octaves here, okay? And so it's gonna be just like verse 1, but we're gonna actually keep it simpler because we're not gonna move to our B flat minor chord. We're just gonna stay on this D flat chord for 2 measures here. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then again, we're gonna go to our A flat chord. A flat's in the left hand, C, E flat, and A flat. But we're just gonna keep this again now for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And we're not going down to that major 7 chord that we used before, just keeping it right there, okay? And to add a little bit of rhythm here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start playing 8th notes, which means twice as fast basically as what we were doing for the quarter notes at the first verse. So that'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Okay, and we're just kind of repeating like that. Now, it's gonna be very similar and just kind of repeating that for the rest of the song, and that can get a little bit boring, so feel free to mix it up if you wanna move it down here again and kind of play that same rhythm. That all sounds good also. You can really play it wherever you want, and it'll still sound good. You can even, if you want to, kind of slow it down, name of the song, and just kind of play it like we did in the first verse, okay? And you can use that really anywhere throughout the song, and it'll still sound good, okay? Last thing I have to show you is that in that part, in the bass, I do like to go to an E flat here in the left hand for 3 of our last 8th notes there. So we'll count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, you saw what we did there? Just staying on this for a while. And then those last 3, we move up to an E flat, and that's kind of building that little anticipation, telling us we're gonna change chords there. So you're gonna repeat that throughout the song, go back sometimes to that pre-chorus. You're gonna wanna listen to the original song, see where it all fits in together, but that's pretty much it. There is some few chord changes at the end where we'll go from this D flat chord down to what's kind of like a D flat or a B flat minor 7 chord, something like this, but it's basically just the same thing, down to B flat minor 7 before going to our A flat, okay? And you hear that like kind of the last 2 times through, and then at the end of the song, there is a part where it goes from D flat to B flat minor, and then A flat, and then it'll actually go to an E flat chord, which is, you know, we use that in the pre-chorus. And that's really only at the end of the song, so if you don't get there, don't worry about it if you want to just kind of keep it simple there, but that is what you can do, and then we just kind of end with our nice little pre-chorus part there. Anyways, that wraps up this tutorial of Slow It Down by Benson Boone. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or future song suggestions. Would love to hear them. Drop a like and hit that subscribe so you can see all my videos. See you next time.